Hello, I'm Charlie Morningstar, Princess of Hell. Today I'm going to be recommending 10 Sapphic young adult books that are set in the modern, realistic, contemporary setting. I tend to prefer magical books, which is no surprise. I will say all these books are books that I liked and I enjoyed, but I didn't necessarily love them a whole lot. I don't like to say anything negative, but I want to try to give a fair review so you can pick the book that you like. So I'm going to say one or two pros and cons for each of these books. If I have the physical book with me, I will hold it up for you to see. But if I don't, I'll just hit screen share and then I'll shrink down small in the corner, and on the screen, you'll see the cover and the synopsis of the book. That's actually what we're going to do with the first one, because I'm going to start with the book I like the least and work my way up to the book I like the most on this list. Keeping You a Secret by Julianne Peters has some positives that it represents what it's like to be in a secret, closeted same-sex relationship in high school and the unhappiness that goes with that, especially when there are family members that aren't accepting. The cons is that it has a very abrupt ending that's not very conclusive or satisfying, and it's difficult to root for the different kinds of relationships, romantic and otherwise, in this book because there's a lot of poor communication. Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli is about a plus-sized teenager in high school getting together with her girlfriend. The positive would be that the characters, including the protagonist, have realistic character flaws. A con of the story would be that the plot is pretty standard, just seniors getting ready for prom and college and that sort of thing. So if you just want a typical high school senior story and you wanted it with Sapphic characters, then this would be a good choice. But if you're looking for anything that is quite literally offbeat, then this would not be the best choice for you. How to Make a Wish by Ashley Herring Blake is about a blonde with an unreliable mother. I couldn't relate at all, not even slightly. The main character has a best friend, and their friendship is really sweet. She has a love interest who's a biracial lesbian. She herself is bisexual, and that's explored. I would say that this book achieves its objectives of exploring the dysfunctional family and the romances and the value of having a supportive friend. The cons would be that it doesn't delve into any of these things super deeply. Unfortunately, that overall makes the book forgettable. There's also no comic relief moments, which could make the book kind of a downer for someone considering a lot of the heavier family issues. Pardalita by Joana Estrela and translated by Lynn Miller-Lachmann is the only graphic novel on this list. It is comics, but also poems. So it's a pretty interesting structure having the poetry and the comics in there. The main character is a masculine Portuguese girl, and her love interest is a more feminine girl. There really isn't a plot with a conflict and resolution. It's just basic life events. There's not a super clear theme either, although there is a motif of irregular verbs. I'm not going to go into specific examples about it. If you're interested, then you can read it. Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins is a book about a sweet, down-to-earth girl from Texas in the United States going to a boarding school and meeting a snooty princess from Scotland. It's a funny book that would make a really fun film. The characters are likable, but they are pretty two-dimensional. Also, the ending doesn't resolve their relationship issues, including how long distance would work or how their families might react. I did prefer the physical book over the audiobook for this one. Normally, I don't have a strong preference, but I did prefer the physical text for this. The next three books we're going to talk about all have something in common. They're all set at conventions where nerdy people go in cosplay. The first one that means that I liked it the least out of the three, although I did like all three of these, is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. It has a very diverse, likable cast of characters, and there's more than one perspective. There's a perspective of a girl who's plus size and has autism. She has a Hispanic love interest, and then her friend. Another perspective is a bisexual Asian girl with a female love interest. The pros of this book include the like I said, the diverse, likable characters, and also a lot of the themes and messages in this book, like that everybody gets anxious sometimes, and people who care about you won't judge you when you are yourself and not putting on some kind of front or not adhering to common social norms. Also, that it's important to take risks and that just because you're a little scared, that doesn't always mean that you should stop doing something. Some cons include that the bland writing style was predictable and didn't make me laugh once, and that the large amount of pop culture references to unrelated pieces of media, such as the television show Friends and the film franchise Indiana Jones, made the book feel dated and lack cohesiveness. The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston is part of her series of standalones in the same Once Upon a Con world. Just like the other one we saw, her Royal Highness, it totally works as a standalone. This is kind of a retelling of The Princess and the Pauper in the sense that it has a celebrity swap places with a regular con goer who looks like her because the celebrity is looking for a script that was leaked or something that she is acting in or wants to act in, because of course she went in trouble for the script being leaked. Some positives of this book include the diverse cast. One of the characters has some really great lesbian mothers, for example, and of course, one of the protagonists, you read the point of view of both girls, is a lesbian herself. Both girls have kind of an insta love romance. And of course, I'm super happy that they found love, but it's not a lot of relationship development in that area. It just kind of happens that they want to be together. Positive would be the way that fandom culture is shown, how supportive and creative people can be. And a con of this is that the plot is kind of absurd. The way she goes about trying to find the script that she lost and how that's all resolved is just a bit, I don't know, silly. I feel weird saying that because of course I do a lot of silly things, but yeah. Of the three books that are set at conventions, my favorite is Ship It by Britta London. I'll show you what the cover looks like without the dust jacket on. Isn't it fun seeing all the people in their different cosplays? This book has two perspectives. It has the girl who's a fan of a show and then an actor in that show. So the girl who's a fan, she has a super popular fan fiction within that fandom, and she winds up getting to meet the actor at a convention. I really like that this book shows the good things about fandom, right? The creativity and such that we sense of community that we mentioned before, but also the negatives, the sense of entitlement that people sometimes have just because they're a fan of something, they feel like they have some kind of ownership regarding it. And also they might feel entitled to the personal lives of actors and things like that. There is a romance between the fangirl and another fangirl, right? They both like the show. I will say that a negative of this is that the love interest does something to the main character that I, as a really forgiving person, would forgive, but I think it might be something that you might not think that that's an excusable action. And I don't want to go into spoilers, but I also feel like people should have a warning. They do resolve this issue, but I know that a lot of people might not think that that's okay, and they might not be able to support the relationship. It could really ruin the book for someone. I could see that happening. Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez is dual perspective. It's got two bisexual white girls, one's a redhead, that had this terrible ex-boyfriend, and they are both going to be on a reality dating show with him, and they are hatching a plan that they will have revenge on him by working together and humiliating him on this show. I think this is a pretty easy read, parodying those kinds of shows, and it executes the theme of don't waste your effort getting revenge on a narcissist who mistreated you really well. I think it's really important when people want to work on themselves and the good relationships in their life and not waste their time on people who were not good to them. I just wish that for this book, the characters and relationships and the setting were more vivid and alive because they were kind of lackluster. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston has just one perspective. It's a bisexual female main character with two gay moms, and she's in denial about her attraction to the female love interest, who's the homecoming queen and the principal's daughter. They go to a really religious school, so even though her family would accept her, the school, not so much. A pro of this book is how much fun it is. It has lots of puzzles to solve and low stakes heists to pull off in order to achieve the plot objective, which is finding the love interest who's gone missing. A con of this is that the main character and her love interest are not particularly likable. They're deliberately written to be pretty unkind and dishonest and self-absorbed, so it's pretty hard to root for them. I will say that the side characters in this book are so much fun. I love the angsty guitarist Rory, the sweet cinnamon roll quarterback Smith, the theater kid Benji. Amazing. So I do recommend this book. It's top of the list because the plot is so fun and the cast of side characters are so lovable. It's just that the main relationship is pretty toxic. And that is why I said at the beginning that I like a lot of books on this list, but there's none that I absolutely love. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I don't know if you can tell how much darker it's gotten compared to when I started recording this. Comment below which of these books sounds interesting to you, or make a suggestion for me, a book that you think that I would enjoy reading, cuddled up with my pets Razzle and Dazzle and my girlfriend Baggy. Make sure that you hit the like and share and subscribe button so that the algorithm will recommend this video to other people and that you'll get a chance to see more book reviews and cosplay. I hope that you have a great day and that you have some happy times reading and stay out of trouble so that I don't wind up seeing you in hell where I'm from. Oh, I don't know how to do it. It's so hard.